Hey everyone, welcome back to the Movie Couple channel. I'm Wendy and here is my non-spoiler review for Love in Taipei. Love in Taipei follows a young woman's cultural immersion program in Taiwan, turns out to be a liberating free-for-all known as Loveboat, where unexpected romance leads her to question her future. So this is actually a book-to-screen adaptation. It is based off the book Loveboat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. I've read the book, I enjoyed the book, and I was really excited when I heard that it was going to be adapted from novel to screen because I always enjoy seeing Taiwan represented in Western media. So the story is based around Ever Wong, and she grew up in a mostly white neighborhood. She is, quite not sheltered from her culture, but she didn't grow up in Taiwan. So her parents sort of sent her, signed her up without telling her and signed her up for this cultural immersion program so she can connect to her roots. So you can imagine this is a trip she did not want to go on. This is not where she was planning on spending her summer or how she was planning to spend her summer, but she really doesn't have a choice, so she tries to go with the flow. Along the way, she meets Sophie, she meets Rick, and she meets Xavier. These are the same characters from the book, but I would say the similarity sort of ends there. They do change it up and they divert from the book quite a bit. I know that with, novel to screen, like movie adaptations, book to screen adaptations, they have to sometimes edit down the story or change it for it to, sometimes you can't tell the exact same story that the book, as how it's written on the screen. You have to adapt it and adjust it and mold it to, for a better fit. But this movie took what I really liked about the book and they kind of they didn't really give it that focus at all. Forever, someone who's never been to Taiwan, who is trying to connect with her roots, she's struggling with feeling that pressure of doing something, pursuing something educationally, like for her future, that is more to appease her parents' dreams rather than her own dreams, which I feel like a lot of, children of immigrants face that kind of pressure, because what your parents gave up for you in order to be here and have this amazing opportunity. And so you feel the pressure to walk down that path rather than your own because you don't want to disappoint them. So she's kind of struggling with that, and she is also discovering love and, not to always have to follow the rules all the time. Ever's character, both in the book and in the movie, she's quite bland. It's not a bad thing, which I think that's what made her story so much fun to read, because she, is in this strange new place. There's no mom and dad there really to keep an eye on her. She is really free to explore the country, hang out with her new friends, do whatever it is on her own time. And the movie does touch on that, especially with her newfound friendship with Sophie. Sophie in the film is really the one that's like, come on, Ever, come out of your shell, come hang out with us. You don't want to be here, but you're here, so let's just have the summer of your life.
Hey Ever, remember that crazy fun night when you followed the rules?
No.
Exactly, because no one ever remembers those nights.
And of course, there is the rom-com aspect of it. There are potential romantic interest for Ever. I don't want to go too much into it if you haven't read the book and obviously haven't seen the movie yet, so I want to keep that spoiler-free. But she does get to explore that in the movie. I just feel that it's, in comparison, it's so surface level. We never really delve into truly why she feels the way she does for whichever, romantic interest she is pursuing or they are pursuing her. But I think most of all, what I was really disappointed with this film is that there were so much more emotional moments of self-discovery, heartaches, happy moments that they didn't really dive into for the movie. The movie kept everything so surface level. Ever has a love for dance. That's something that she kind of hides from her parents, but it's something that makes her really, really happy. And that is the one thing that she struggles with. I really want to do dance. I have this really great potential opportunity that could solidify my future for me to pursue my passion of dance. And I would have loved to see her really explore that even more in the movie like they did in the book. They did it really, really well in the book. And I feel like they really missed the opportunity on that. The dialogue also felt very, I know I'm using the same words over and over, I just can't think of any other words to describe this right now, but the dialogues felt very shallow as well. Especially, I think, for these characters, they aged them up for the film. In the books, they were all like around college age, but like just graduating high school seniors or just getting into college freshmen. Whichever is, she is 21 in the movie, but she is 18 in the book. But the writing for the movie, when the characters talk, it felt like they were all younger, like younger than 21, younger than 18. And I don't really understand why there was like an age change. It's not too big of a deal, but it was interesting that they called attention to that, and then that was the way they presented these characters. Love in Taipei was filmed on location in Taipei. So watching the trailer and everything, I was really excited to see the landscape of Taiwan, the culture, the night markets, the scenery of Taipei, the nightlife, everything getting highlighted in this film. Kind of what we saw in, you know, this movie recently just came out, in Joyride, where you got to see a lot of the city of various places, you know, wherever the girls road trip to. And I feel like, again, another missed opportunity for Love in Taipei. They did show some, but they didn't really go deep into it. It was also a lot of repeated scenery. There was a scene where they had the group go and visit a night market, which if you've been to East Asian countries, Taiwan especially, like night market's such a big thing there. It is crowded, so I understand they have to, you know, perhaps craft their own night markets in order to be able to fit the crew, fit the cast and everything in there. Like filming on location at an actual like night market, there's just too many other interferences, too much crowd for it to be kind of controlled, and audio would probably be a mess. So I understand that they needed to craft their own. But they made it into this like, it was in a small alleyway of like 5 or 6 stalls, and it just didn't look authentic. It didn't look believable. I enjoy the performances by the cast. I think Ashley Lau is so charming. I enjoy watching Chelsea, who played Sophie. I really liked the two of their characters the most. Sophie, a pretty big departure from the book as well, not in her personality, but in the way of their like telling her friendship with Ever. In the book, it is like pour the tea good kind of a friendship, and again, this one, it was just like they barely scratched the surface of all the characters. So unfortunately, Love in Taipei did not live up to my expectation. Again, I really enjoyed the book so much. I was so excited to get to see Taiwan highlighted in, you know, a movie for the Western general audience, for it to highlight the city and have a cute little rom-com there. And I enjoyed the book as well, so I was excited to see it being adapted into a movie. And so with that said, my rating for Love in Taipei is skip it. I would say the story is great. If you want to get the story, read the book. And one of the good things about this movie coming out was that I kind of went back into the book and, you know, just did some side-by-side comparison, just because as I was watching the movie, I was thinking, is this how it went down? Because this doesn't feel familiar to me. And then when I referred back to the book and I did some Googling and stuff, I was like, I see, this is quite different. One of the cool things I found out is that there is 2 more follow-up books to Loveboat Taipei. Let me grab the name for you real quick. Okay, so the first book, which have been out for a few years, is called Loveboat Taipei. The second book is called Loveboat Reunion, and the third one is called Loveboat Forever. So I have ordered the second book. I have not started reading it, but I probably will sometime this weekend. So if you have read the first book, at the very least, comment below and let me know your thoughts on the book. And if you do end up seeing the movie, which is going to be on Paramount Plus, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.